Hello, students. Welcome to the Company Law lecture number 5 in the CA Foundation lecture series sponsored by Shrijan the Rank Zone. I'm your mentor, Shekhar Gehlot. So, in the previous lecture, we discussed about the incorporation and the what is a private company, what are the key points of setting up of a private company, and how to compute the number of members in a private company. Today, in this lecture, we will discuss about what are the significant points of a private company. We can also say we are discussing about the features of private company. This can also be classified as features of private company. So let's have a quick look. What are the features of private company? No minimum paid up capital requirement. Minimum number of members 2, maximum number of members 200, right to transfer shares restricted, prohibition on invitation to subscribe to securities of company, small company is a private company, OPC can be formed only as a private company. Okay, no minimum paid up capital requirement. Like we discussed in the case of one person company, earlier this minimum paid up capital in the case of a private company used to be 1 lakh. Okay, but now it has been changed and now no minimum paid up capital is required, but usually 1 lakh is kept as a standard, but legally speaking there is no minimum paid up capital required now. Okay, no minimum paid up capital is required, but minimum paid up cannot be nil. Okay, it cannot be nil or it cannot be zero. It has to be some amount has to be there. Okay, like 100,000 200 rupees, something like this, like we discussed in the case of one person company. Nil minimum no minimum paid up capital does not means absence of paid up capital. Paid up capital is still there. The only issue is that there is no minimum limit. Whatever initial subscribers feel to be appropriate, they can keep the running share capital as per their own wishes. Minimum number of members 2, except if private company is an one person company, which will be 1. So we definitely know one person company, though it only has one member, but definitely it will qualify as a private company. Okay, so here we are discussing about a different type of a private company, which is a regular private company, not a one person company. Okay, so minimum number of members here are 2. These are initial members. Later on they can be extended up to what limit? 200. Okay, not beyond that. That is initial subscribers to the MOA. MOA is a short form for memorandum of association, must be 2, and this is minimum. You cannot have it lower than this. If you want to have it lower than this, you go and incorporate a one person company, which is a different company. Maximum number of members 200, like we discussed in the earlier slide, excluding present employee come members, which we have already discussed. Okay, and erstwhile employee come members, or we can add these are the exclusions. Okay, these people will not be counted. Present members, present employees who have become members by the virtue of being given shares by the company through any means, or members who had, or the employees who had the shares and now they have become ex-employees, these shall not be counted. Okay, and joint shareholders shall be counted as 1. Okay, these are the rules of features of private company. Right to transfer share is restricted. Like we discussed, restriction doesn't mean ban. Restriction is not prohibition. Okay, restriction is not a prohibition. No company can say, no private company can say that we do not allow the transfer of shares. This is not legal. Okay, you cannot do so. Why? Because our constitution gives us a right to hold the property and use the property in either way we want, and even gives us a right to sell the property or dispose of the property in whatever way we want to. Okay, so any restriction, so any prohibition which is working as an absolute prohibition on transfer of shares, that means one member once become a member of private company can never ever transfer his shares to any other member. That condition will be a void condition, will not stand the scrutiny of the law. Okay, so here the word used is restricted, it is not prohibited, or there is no ban over it. Okay, restriction is there, however act does not prescribe the restrictions. What kind of restrictions a company decides to have on its transfer of shares, that is left alone to the wisdom of the company only. Okay, act has not prescribed any such conditions. Act does not say that you have to follow these conditions in order to allow the transfer of shares by one member to some other prospective member. It is left to the wisdom of the company. Company shall decide. And where will company decide? Company will prescribe in its AOA, articles of association. Company will prescribe in its articles of association that share transfer can happen in these conditions, and otherwise it cannot happen. So now suppose Birla Corp is there. Okay, this Birla Corp is a private company, small private company. This is, we are discussing an example of it just to have a clear understanding of what this kind of restriction can be there. Birla Corp is there. It says transfer of shares by member to a family member only. Okay, now it says that a member can transfer his share to another family member only. Okay, another family member only. This is what they have stated only. Okay, nothing else. Now, what Ram does, Ram transfers the share to his cousin, brother. Okay. Now, Birla Corporation has issue with this. Birla Corporation says, we said you can transfer shares only to the family member. Ram says, my cousin is also a family member. Birla Corporation says, no, family member means people related by blood only. Okay, people related by blood only. Okay, this is what we meant by the family members. So cousin, your cousin, because you are not related by blood but you are related otherwise in the extended family. So Ram now cannot transfer the shares to his cousin because Birla Corporation says by family member we meant people related by blood only. But this condition as it was not specified in the AOA, therefore will be invalid. Okay, now this argument of Birla Corporation will be invalid because they have specified only family members in the article of association, but they have not specified what do they consider a family. Okay, what do they mean when they say a family member, whether they mean this extended family also as a family, or they by family they only mean people related by the blood. They should have provided it into the article of association. If they are just stated family, then now Ram can transfer his shares to the cousin because cousin definitely becomes a part of family. Okay, so whatever condition company wants to impose upon the restriction of the shareholding, company has to incorporate in the article of association. That is very clearly. Like in this case, they said family member, but they said we meant by family member we meant people related by blood only. Okay, but usually family is also an extended family. Okay, so they should have specified it. They have vaguely mentioned family member only. Now, in this case, this transfer is valid and the Birla Corporation cannot refuse his right to transfer the shares. Okay, or in other case, let's say Ram seeks to transfer to friend. Ram seeks to transfer shares to a friend, and now Birla Corporation says you cannot transfer the shares to the friend because friend is not a part of family. Okay, here what does this guy say? Ram says, no, no, I treat my friend as a family. So now Ram will fail in this case because family means family. You can have this person cousin as a family, but definitely you can have a friend. You may treat the friend like your brother or more than your brother, but still legally speaking, friend is not family. So in this case, Ram's bid to transfer his shares to a friend will fail, and Birla Corporation will succeed. Now you understand what kind of conditions company can impose certain other conditions like no transfer of share to a minor. Okay, no transfer of share to a minor, meaning thereby a member cannot transfer his shares now to his son who is a minor. Why? Because article of association specifies such condition. Okay. Or if article of association does not specify any condition, okay, they does not specify that shares cannot be transferred to a minor, then in that case shares can be very well transferred to the minor. So the right is restricted only in the manner prescribed in the article of association. Any manner in which is not prescribed by the article of association, that shall be assumed to have been allowed. Okay. Anyway, not specifically shall be deemed to be allowed. So now Birla Corp will have to take due care that they must put everything into the article of association. If they do not mention any particular condition into the article of association, then that condition will not become part of the restriction. That condition will not come into the way of transfer of shares. Okay, so now they do not mention, let us assume they do not mention this condition that no shares could be transferred to a minor. This is not written here. That means the Birla Corporation has assumed, or it is assumed that Birla Corporation has no problem with the transfer of share to a minor. So in this case, shares could be transferred to a minor as well. Prohibition on invitation to subscribe to the securities of company. Okay, this is called advertisement. Advertisement for shareholdings or buying the share. If you will pick up the newspaper on regularly basis, you will find in the Economic Times usually, or in the column which is dealing with the economy of the country. Okay, you will find some notices are always there in which the companies which are public companies, they are always asking for the shareholders that we are bringing a rights issue, we are bringing this issue, or IPO is coming, or other further FPO, further public offering is coming, and those who want to buy can buy the shares of the company. Okay, this is called advertisement. But a private company shall not indulge into this kind of advertisement whereby they are trying to induce general public at large. Okay, general public at large means public who does not have anything to do with the members of the company, who has no dealing with the members of the company, who are totally unknown to the company. Like when I buy shares of Reliance, okay, Reliance is a public listed company. Reliance can have advertisement for the shareholding. So when I, as a public person, buy the shares of the Reliance, okay, I have no dealing with any other member in the Reliance. I do not even know who are the shareholders. There may be 2 3 crore shareholders. My next door neighbor may be a Reliance shareholder, but I don't know. My very good friend, he may be a shareholder, but I don't know that he has purchased the shares, and he is a very good friend. And I definitely do not know Ambani. Just by reading about Ambani on the pages of the newspaper or the internet website, it doesn't make me a member known to the Ambani. Okay, so in this case, public company, anyone can, any people unknown can subscribe to the shares, and public company can also advertise for the share biddings. But this private company cannot do so. This private company cannot invite public at large, general public who's not involved with the members of the shareholder, this company. In any case, they cannot invite those people to come and buy the shares in the private company. In private company, shares could be transferred only by way of private placement. This private placement means you come, you have a discussion with me, you understand my company, read about the company's prospectus, see the company's growth, and if you have some belief, and then yes, you become a member of our company. But it's not like that you are going to buy my shares from some online portal. No, it cannot happen. You come and you buy it, you have discussions, then only we can sell shares to you. Otherwise, you cannot. Small company is a private company. Okay, so private company is usually a small company. When I say small company, I do not mean to say a company which is not doing any business or not doing any sufficient business. Small company means company small in comparison to other big companies which we see in our day to day life. Okay, they are also small companies or private companies are doing very great business. Later on, they become the public companies as well. Reliance, Ambani, or Tata, they initially started off as a small company and a private company only, but they went on to become the big bulls of the market later on. But every private company usually is a small company compared to their size. One person company can be formed only as a private company. This does not need further explanation. Now we go to what is a small company. This is another kind of category, is a small company. A small company given under section 2 subclause 85 of the Companies Act 2013, which means a company other than a public company. Okay, a company other than a public company. That means this company definitely is a private company. Okay, paid up in which now the requirements of a small company, first thing, one thing is very much clear here, that a public company can never be categorized as a small company. Okay, can never be categorized as a small company. A public company can never be a small company. Only a private company can be a small company. Paid up share capital of which does not exceed 50 lakhs rupees. Okay, sorry. Coming back to this particular point, a public company can never be categorized as a small company. Now I tell you, we have one company called Reliance, and we have another company called uh, Cafe Coffee Day Express. Coffee Day Express. We have another company called Coffee Day Express. What is happening between these two companies is that Reliance is making profits to the tune of thousands of crore rupees, and at the same time, Coffee Day Express has a debt running into thousands of crore rupees. And Coffee Day Express balance sheet, if you'll see, it's running into negative. It's having losses after losses, losses after losses. The company does not have even a single penny with it. Or you can substitute this company, remove this company with a Reliance Anil Ambani. Okay, so this company, Reliance Anil Ambani and Reliance Mukesh Ambani. This is a public company. This is also a public company. This company, Reliance Anil Ambani, is standing on the verge of bankruptcy, almost bankrupt. It does not have money enough to pay its debt obligations. Okay, probably the whole company will be sold off soon. So this company is a public company. Both are public companies, but still we cannot call this company a small company. Okay, still this company will remain a public company and you cannot call it a small company. Though going by the numbers, this company is running into huge losses. Even a one person company today may be earning better than this Reliance Anil Ambani company, or a very private company jointly held by 2 3 people will be doing a bigger business than this company. But still that company will qualify as a smaller company, but this company being a public company can never be categorized as a small company, because the act states so, and it says small company given under so and so, which means a company other than a public company. This is the exception. And now, what is a small company? Paid up share capital of which does not exceed 50 lakh rupees or such higher amount as may be prescribed, which shall not be more than 5 crore rupees. Okay, the paid up share capital of which does not exceed 50 lakh rupees or such higher amount which may be prescribed. That means tomorrow this 50 lakh may become 5 crore rupees as well. Tomorrow the law may say a small company is one which has a paid up share capital which does not exceed 5 crore rupees as well. Okay, today it says 50 lakh only. And this is one of the conditions which we, when we discussed about the one person company, which stated if one person company wanted to convert itself into any other company, it should have a paid up share capital of more than 50 lakhs rupees. Okay, so this threshold is kept here for the small company as well. Any small company which has paid up share capital lesser than 50 lakh rupees, any private company will qualify as a small company. Turnover of which, as per its last profit and loss account, does not exceed 2 crore rupees or such higher amount as may be prescribed, which shall not be more than 20 crore rupees. Right now it's 2 crore rupees but can be extended to 20 crore rupees and could not be taken beyond 20 crore rupees. Okay, so the turnover is 2 crore rupees in the given financial year. This is the same condition which we discussed in the one person company. If one person company want to turn itself into any other private company, then it shall show a turnover of more than 2 crore rupees in given financial year. And similar is the case here. If the company is having less than 2 crore rupees turnover and at the same time its share capital is below 50 lakh rupees, then and then only the company will be a small company. It cannot be the case that the company is the shareholding the paid up share capital is below 50 lakh rupees but the turnover is more than 2 crore rupees. Then this company shall not qualify as a small company. The company shall become a normal regular private company, or its shareholding is share capital is more than 50 lakh rupees but the turnover is less than 2 crore rupees. Okay, then also this company will remain a small company. Both these conditions should coexist. Okay, at the same time it should exist, otherwise this company shall become a small company. So this section shall not apply to now. These are the exceptions to all the companies which can never become a small company. Okay, despite having both these conditions: a holding company or a subsidiary company. A holding company is company which is holding any other company below it. Okay, just like an employee employer relation, you can understand holding company just like a employer to an employee. Okay, just like a normal employer employee relation, what an employer is, holding company is that. Okay, and what is a subsidiary company? Subsidiary company is an employee of the employer. Okay, subsidiary company is the employee of holding company. So any holding company or a subsidiary company can never be qualified as a small company. A company registered under section 8 company, we have discussed section 8 company are charitable company or not for profit companies. So they have a special treatment in the law, or we may say a different treatment in the law. They cannot be qualified as a one person company or a small company. A company In fact, these are also not called as company itself. They are called societies or some other names, clubs, association, etc. A company or a body corporate governed by any special act. Any company or body corporate governed by a special act such as LIC. Life Insurance Corporation governed by Special Act LIC Act, or we have ONGC. Special Act is there for the ONGC. Now in one particular time it may happen that ONGC's paid share capital has gone below 50 lakh rupees because the share has hit the rock bottom. It has gone so down in the market. It may happen, okay, it may happen to any company, though today these companies are very sound. So tomorrow its share capital has gone down below 50 lakh rupees, and its annual turnover also has gone below 2 crore rupees. Still, ONGC cannot qualify itself as a small company. Why? Because it's a company registered under a body corporate. Okay, first of all, ONGC, LIC are even public companies. That then also they cannot be qualified as this. But let's assuming they are private companies. Still, even qualifying these things, they cannot become a small company. Why? Because these are the body corporate governed by any special act. They are governed by their own special acts, LIC Act, ONGC Act, etc. Small companies, significant points. It's a private company, okay. Paid up capital not more than 50 lakhs rupees. Turnover not more than 2 crore rupees. Should not be a Section 8 company. These are the bullet points, okay. Now we'll go to the giant company which we all intend to, which you all tomorrow as a budding CAs will definitely like to work with. This is your, this is going to be aim for a any CA to be associated with a public company. Now what is public company? Public company means a company which is not a private company, first of all, okay. So the law has tried to keep the things as simple as possible for both the lawman as well as for the layman. So definitions like these are available, that a private company is a company which is not a public company, or a public company is which is not a private company, okay. So they are trying to keep things simple for all people, those people who are dealing with the law as well as those people who have no knowledge of the law. Public company means a company which is not a private company. One point, has a minimum paid up share capital as may be prescribed. Has a minimum paid up share capital as may be prescribed, provided that a company which is not a subsidiary of a company, not being a private company, shall be deemed to be a public company for the purpose of this act, even where such subsidiary company continues to be a private company in its article. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, let's break it. Provided that a company which is a subsidiary of a company, not being a provided private company, that means Reliance Mukesh, a public company. It holds another company, holds ABC Limited. ABC Limited is a private company. Okay, ABC Limited is a private company, a very small company as well. But since Reliance Mukesh Ambani, Reliance Mukesh, which is a public company, holds ABC Limited, that means ABC Limited is the subsidiary company of this Reliance Mukesh Ambani. Like we discussed previously, it is kind of an like Reliance Mukesh is the employer and this company is now employee. Okay, this company is now under the direct control and supervision and guidance of this particular company. So now this company will also become a public company, though though by going by other parameters it is definitely a private company. It has a paid up share capital less than 50 lakh rupees, and only 2 3 members are there, public members are not holding shares, and all the things are private here. But because it is a subsidiary of a public company, it becomes a, itself will become a public company. is not a private company. So these are the significant points of a public company. Public company, first of all, is not a private company. Articles do not have the restricting clause. Okay, that means when it is not a private company, articles AOA cannot have restricting clause. Restricting clause for what? For transfer of shares. Okay, only a private company can have restrictions on transfer of shares in their clause articles of association, but a public company cannot have it. Public company, even if they have it in their article of association, that will be invalid in the law. Shares are freely transferable. Okay, shares are very freely transferable, they are very liquid. So suppose today I want to buy shares of Bajaj Finance, but currently I am holding shares of Reliance, and I want to sell my shares tomorrow, and whatever money I'll get after selling these shares of Reliance, I'll buy Bajaj Finance from that particular money. So nobody can stop me from doing that, okay, other than the market forces, whether they are buyers or sellers on the market or not. So I'll straight away go to the market, share market, sell my shares of Reliance and purchase the shares of Bajaj Finance, both being the public companies. Okay, neither of them can stop me from buying or selling the shares. Shares are freely transferable. No minimum paid up capital is required to set up a public company. These restrictions have been now done away with. Earlier it used to be there, 5 lakh for a public company, 1 lakh for a private company. It used to be like this there, but now there is no such requirement at all. But yet again, I won't take much time in this, but this cannot be nil. Okay, like we have discussed it earlier. Minimum number of members, like in private company we have two members, and in one person company we have one. Here minimum number of members are 7, at least 7 initial initial minimum 7 number of members means at least 7 initial subscribers to the memorandum of association at the time of incorporation. Okay, when the company was incorporated, there were at least 7 initial subscribers to the memorandum of association. If it has less than 7, it has 2, 3, 4, any number, then it will be qualified as a private company, but it has minimum 7 numbers of members. And just by having 7 number of members, it won't become a public company, but this is one such condition that it has. And then there are so many other conditions which it will have to fulfill in order to qualify as a public company, but for the time being we'll restrict ourselves to this only, because that is a detailed topic. You all people will read about it when you'll go in the advanced studies of your CA courses. Maximum number of members, no limit. Okay, like a private company which can have only 200 members, this company, a public company, can have, there's no limit. They can have 1000, 2000, 10 crore, 20 crore, 30 crore, etc. Okay, any number of members. Like if we take the example of Tata or Birla or Ambani, Reliance, these companies are having 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 crore shareholders. Okay, so there is no such limit. Subsidiary of a public company is deemed to be a public company. Subsidiary of a public company, we go back to this particular example, ABC Limited, a private company, but it is a subsidiary of a Reliance Mukesh, which is a public company, so it will be deemed to be a public company now. According to section 31A, a company may be formed for any lawful purposes by 7 or more persons, where the company to be formed is to be a public company. Okay, so definitely any company which is either a private company or public company, definitely it has to be a company formed for the lawful purposes. There cannot be any company for the unlawful purposes. That will be an unlawful association only, cannot be registered as a company ever. Now we discuss about the number of companies on a different yardstick. Till now we were discussing about the companies on the basis of number of members. Okay, now we discuss about a company on the basis of control. Okay, you understand the control is, the word control is used in its very basic sense. That means who takes the decisions. Okay, so control means whoever takes the decisions has the control of it, the basic sense of the word in the English language. Holding and subsidiary companies. On the basis of control, we have companies which are holding and subsidiary companies. Holding and subsidiary companies are relative terms. Okay, are relative terms means related in terms of relation. We read companies in terms of relation it has with other company. What relation does it have with the other company? That is a relative term. A company is a holding company in relation to one or more other companies, means a company of which such companies are subsidiary companies. Okay, a company is a holding company in relation to one or more such other companies of which such companies are subsidiary companies. Now, what is a holding company? We say Reliance holds ABCL Limited. Okay, Reliance holds ABCL Limited. So now ABCL is the subsidiary company and Reliance is the holding company. So now suppose tomorrow another company comes up, that is Tata, and Tata now becomes the holding company of Reliance. Now Tata is holding Reliance. Okay, Reliance is already holding ABCL Limited, but thereafter Tata comes in picture and Tata now holds Reliance. So thereby, what will be the meaning of this? That ABCL will now automatically become a subsidiary of Tata. It will no longer remain a subsidiary of Reliance. It will become a subsidiary of Tata itself. Okay. This is a relative term. That is what we are discussing. Relative term. What is the relation here? It holds ABCL Limited. But what is the relation between ABCL and Tata? That the in between company is held by Tata. Therefore now there is a direct relation, that it is a direct subsidiary of Tata, because Reliance controls ABCL and Tata controls Reliance. So now Tata has become the holding company for ABCL and ABCL is the subsidiary company, whereas section 272 subclause 87 defines subsidiary company in relation to any other company, that is to say holding company. Okay, means a company in which the holding company controls the composition of the board of directors. Okay, now we are discussing about what kind of control we are discussing here. A subsidiary company in relation to any other company. Any other company means holding company. Okay, so now read it. Subsidiary company in relation to any holding company. Any holding company means a company in which the holding company, okay, means a company ABC Limited, in which in ABC Limited the holding company Reliance is doing so and so. What is the so and so? Controls the composition of board of directors. Now we all know that a company is run by the board of directors. Okay, so now ABCL has a board of directors, BOD, let us say in the short form, which has 5 members there. Okay, now how can Reliance control the composition of board of directors? It means Reliance has power to appoint 3 members. 3 members in the board. At least 3, let us say. It can be 5 as well, at least. At least 3 members. That is the minimum amount of members required to control the composition of the board. So the composition of board of the ABC Limited is 5 members in total. Out of these 5 members, Reliance has power to appoint 3 members now. Okay, when the Reliance has power to appoint 3 members, and we all know in board of directors, in BOD, decisions are always taken by majority. Okay, decisions are always taken by majority. Whatever happens is by majority. So in these 5 member board, if Reliance is able to place 3 members, so whatever decision Reliance wants to pass, definitely these 3 members will vote for it, and the two other members, they can never stop the resolution passed by these 3 members. Why? Because they are in minority now. So now Reliance is directly controlling the composition of the board of the ABCL Limited. So now Reliance will become the holding company and ABCL will become the subsidiary company. Or, okay, other condition which is independent of this condition. Okay, this condition may or may not be there, but if, I mean, these both conditions are individual conditions. They both can also be there, or any one of them can be there. Even if one of them is there, then also the company will become a subsidiary company. Or exercises or controls more than one half of the total share capital, either at its own or together with one or more of its subsidiary companies. Okay, now here the control is by the composition. Okay, here it is more than one half of the total share capital. Okay, now the share capital of ABCL is suppose 10 lakh shares. Now Reliance owns 5 lakh 5 lakh one share. Okay, 5 lakh one share, just one share extra. Okay, one half of the total share capital. That means now Reliance will become Reliance will become holding company of ABCL, and ABCL will be the subsidiary of Reliance. Why? Because Reliance holds more than one half of the share capital. Now read again. Either at its own, either Reliance holds it directly, or together with one or more of its subsidiary companies. Now suppose Reliance holds only 3 lakh 1 3 lakh and 1 shares. Now definitely share capital is 10 lakh shares. So Reliance can never become the holding company of ABCL Limited. Why? Because it holds lesser number of shares than the half of it. Now what happens? Tata, which is holding company of Reliance. Reliance is subsidiary of Tata, purchases 3 lakh shares of ABCL. Okay. Now Tata, which is a holding company of Reliance, purchases 3 lakh shares of ABCL. Now the total number of shares held by Reliance and Tata goes to 6 lakh plus. Okay, goes to 6 lakh plus number of shares now they hold. More than 6 lakhs share they hold. Now ABCL will automatically become a subsidiary of Reliance as well as Tata. Okay, so they can, either Reliance can itself have it, or Reliance can have more than, or Tata, the holding company of Reliance, they both can in total have more than half. Okay, either of the case, ABCL will become the subsidiary company of Tata, provided that such class or classes of holding companies as may be prescribed shall not have layers of subsidiaries beyond such numbers as may be prescribed. Okay, that means now layers of subsidiaries A holds B, it holds C, it holds D, it holds E, it holds F. Now, how many layers are there? A is the company which is holding all these companies. Okay. E holds F, D holds E, C holds D, B holds C, and A holds B. That means A becomes the holding company for all of them together. Okay. Now, how many layers of the subsidiary companies A is having in this case? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 5 number of companies, 5 layers. Now, we'll call it 5 layers. Okay. Now, it says provided that such class or classes of holding companies as may be prescribed shall not have. Now, public company shall not have, cannot have layers or subsidiaries beyond such numbers. That means this clause is trying to, not trying, but it has actually placed a limit on the numbers of layers a holding company can have for the subsidiaries. That means now this clause says a public company, sorry, a holding company can have only this much number of subsidiary companies layers. Okay, now what is the number? A company shall be deemed to be subsidiary company of the holding company even if the control referred to in subclause 1 or subclause 2 is of another subsidiary company of the holding company. They are just trying to say that even if E is holding F and A is holding E, then F will automatically become the subsidiary of A. The composition of the company's board of directors shall be deemed to be controlled by another company if that other company, by exercise of some power exercisable by it at its discretion, can appoint or remove all or majority of directors. That means they are just controlling the number of directors, the composition of directors. The expression company includes anybody corporate. The expression company includes anybody corporate. Okay. Layer in relation to holding company means its subsidiary or subsidiary company. So it says provided that such number of companies, right now this number of companies is, layer is 20 companies. Okay, right now the number of layers is 20. Sorry. Examples, let's deal examples we have already discussed, but let's read them again. A will be subsidiary of B if B controls the composition of the board of directors of A, i.e., if B can, without the consent of approval of any other person, appoint or remove the majority of directors of A. Okay, that then B will become holding, A will be a subsidiary. A will be a subsidiary of B if B holds more than 50% of share capital of A. We have discussed B is a subsidiary of A and C is a subsidiary of B. In such a case, C will be subsidiary of A. In the like manner, D is a subsidiary of C. D will be a subsidiary of B as well as A, and so on. We have discussed this. Status of a private company which is a subsidiary to public company. In view of section so and so of the Companies Act, a private company which is subsidiary of public company shall be deemed to be a public company for the purpose of this act. We have discussed this even where such subsidiary company continues to be a private company in its articles. Though the articles of the private company or the subsidiary company may claim that no, we are only a private company, but it shall not be the case. It will continue to remain to be a public company till the time it is being held by a public company as its subsidiary companies. Associate company. Okay, now what is an associate company? Now we have done on the basis of relation. Okay, on the basis of relation we have done two type of companies, that is one is holding company and subsidiary company. Now third type of company on the basis of relation within the companies is associate company. In relation to another company, associate company in relation to another company means a company in which that other company has a significant influence. The word used is significant influence, not control. Okay, not control but influence. It has a significant influence but not a control. It cannot control it. It cannot dictate what this company want to do, but still it has a significant influence. What is a significant influence? We'll deal in just few minutes, but let us read the example. Sorry, the act. But which is not a subsidiary company of the company having such influence and includes a joint venture of company. Okay, so this company is not a subsidiary company of another company, but this other company has significant influence in this subsidiary, sorry, in this second company. The term significant influence means control of at least 20% of total share capital or business decisions under the agreement. So okay, so now there is a company A and then there is a company B. Now A cannot control the composition of B. Neither it owns more than 50% of the share capital of B. Therefore, A cannot become the holding company of B. Okay, and it cannot even dictate the decision making by the B. But A holds more than 20% of shares. That means it still has a substantial amount of power with it. 20% means it holds 1/5 of the company. Okay, when a company is holding 1/5 of the other company, then definitely this company has a significant influence in the decision making of company B. Okay, so but definitely it does not have such an impact that it can totally control it. It cannot totally control it, but still it has a significant influence. That is 20% defined by the act. So now it will become a holding company. Sorry, not it will become an as these companies, both companies will become associate companies of each other. The total share capital means the aggregate of. Now, what is the total share capital? When we discuss 20% of total share capital, what is the total share capital? That is paid up equity share capital, the e- share capital which is paid up. Okay, suppose company issues one share at 100 rupees. Okay, so 100 rupees is the cost of the share. Now somebody has paid 100 rupees for that share, fully paid it. That share will be qualified as a paid up equity share capital. Okay, equity share means equity share means which gives you voting power. Equity share is a voting power. Okay, we have a different different categories of shares. Some shares are there, some categories of shares like preferential shares are there which do not provide you a voting power. Okay, you may be holding any number of preferential shares but you do not have a voting power. You cannot vote in the resolutions of the company. So we are talking about, when we discuss about the this total share capital, then we deal only with the equity share capital, because only equity share capital can decide the control. Okay, we are discussing about the control or the significant influence. So influence can be there only when you have power to vote. You do not have a power to vote. Like suppose say President Trump cannot control India, or even he cannot have a significant influence in the India, though he himself is a president of one of the most powerful countries of the world. Or he may be a very rich person, but he is not a citizen of India. He does not have a right to vote, so he cannot be an influencer here. He cannot influence the government here. So this is that is why we deal only with those shares when we are discussing about the term control or significant influence. That means we are discussing only and exclusively about those shares which are equity shares. Equity shares means which gives you a voting power. Okay, so those shares which have a voting power, and that is a equity share only. Or and convertible preference share capital. Convertible preference shares. Now these preference shares are called preference shares. Preference means you will get first option. Okay, then any other person. So preference shares, these are called preference shares because when the dividend or when profits company are being distributed, then preferential shareholder will have first right. Okay, this is why they are called preferential shareholder, and these shares are called preference shares because whenever a company is distributing the profit, and when the company distributes the profit, the legal term for it is called dividends. Okay, whenever a company is distributing dividends or profits, these preferential shareholders will have the first right to receive the dividend. There may be occasion in which company is not having enough profit to divide the shares, to divide the profit with all the shares, but in any case they have to provide profit to the preferential shares holders. Why? Because they have a preference over other shareholders in terms of the profit of the company. Okay, but in order to become a preferential shareholder, you have to give up voting rights. Okay, you have to give up your voting rights. You cannot have voting rights. Okay, so now a preferential shareholder is one which does not have a voting right, but now we are including in this term share capital, we are including something called preferential share as well. But this is not a simple preferential shareholder or preferential share, it is a convertible preference share. Convertible is something which can change its shape, color, size. Okay, like we talk about chameleon, chameleon as an parasite, mammal, chameleon as a mammal can change its color. It has a convertible color. Or we have a car which are convertible cars. It can squeeze its roof, or it can become a full roof, or it can become a half roof car. Those are convertible. So similar is the case with the convertible preferential shares. At one point of time, these shares, these convertible preferential shares, not preferential shares, I again repeat, only convertible preferential shares, those shares which have been allotted as a convertible preference shares only. They will at one point of time, say 10, 20, 30 years, will one day they will automatically convert themselves to equity shares. That is why they are called convertible preference shares. So for time being, for 10 years they will remain convert, they will act as a preference shares. After 10 years they will act as a equity shares. So after 10 years or some point of time, definitely they will have voting rights. That is why we count them in the total share capital. We count them in the total share capital because today may not be, but tomorrow they will definitely have a voting right.